Yeah. Don't worry. It can't hurt you too much. It's just a little bit. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Today is very special because we have my most wonderful pal and fabulous actor, writer, voice actor, Joel Perez. Yay! I'm so excited. Hi, everybody. Yes. As you know, I've talked about this before. Outside of the diner, I work as a costume designer in film and television, and I have met a lot of really great people that I think that I would love to highlight them and bring them into the diner for some gabbing and for some dishing. Dishing deets, you get it? It's a pun.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Anyway.
Delicious
dish. Yes. And so that's what we're getting into today. It's the inaugural thing. So very honored to have this great guest. And also friend, like, it's like, what? We were chit-chatting before we started. I was like, oh my God, I'm like a little nervous having like someone who knows me outside of the diner and seeing me as Lala. So anyway.
The diner's so pretty. Look at it.
Oh, you're making me blush. Thank you. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of dive into it. We have a lot of things to talk about, but today is to highlight you. And so yeah, why don't you take a moment, say hello, and introduce yourself, and then we'll get chit-chatting.
Hey friends. Hey hello fellow diners. My name is Joel Perez. I'm an actor, writer, voice actor, and just a theater maker. Do a lot of different things. Living in New York City. Most recently, I'm a part of a wonderful new animated series called Hazbinhotel, where I play a delicious villain named Valentino.
Perfect segue to another question we had is, how exactly did you get into the fold of the Hazbin and Spindlehorse family? Just tell us about that road in terms of that.
Yeah, I mean, normally with voiceover work and animation work, it's through auditions. You just have an agent who submits me to projects, and I audition for them. And I have been auditioning for animated stuff for a really long time, but in New York City, there isn't a lot of animation voiceover. There's a lot of commercial voiceover, and I've done a lot of commercials, but there isn't. Most animation is based in Los Angeles. So, but Hazbinhotel was a little different because Vivian Medrano has another show called Hell of a Boss that's on YouTube. And I was like, this is incredible. I was like, this animation is so cool. I love that it's a musical. I grew up very conservative Christian. And so I'm always very fascinated by stuff that explores God and faith and heaven and hell, these sort of like things that we take for granted. I love stuff that like questions a lot of those things that we're taught, and just in general. The creator is Latina. I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to support that. At the time, I was doing a musical at a place called Agunquit Playhouse in Maine, a show called Mystic Pizza. And they put me in a studio in Portland, Maine. So I'm like in a studio, no video. It's just I'm only hearing music and I'm talking. And who I'm talking to is Vivian, Andrew Butler, and Richard Horvitz. And Richard Horvitz is the voice director of Hazbinhotel. But Richard Horvitz is like the voice of Invader Zim, of Alpha, in the Power Rangers, like this like iconic VO actor. So I was like in my head being like, I can't believe I'm talking to Invader Zim right now and he's giving me direction. This is crazy. So we do the session. I sing the music, sing the song. Like, that was great. And Viv was like, Joel, you're an actor, right? And I was like, yeah. and she was like, "We need there's like a small character on this episode that we haven't voiced yet. Like, do you want to try it?" And so I voiced this Dr. Sumna, who's on this episode. He's like a little goat doctor. So they're like, "Do you want to try this character?" So they sent me the side, like emailed me the sides, and I tried a few different ways. I tried like an old man, kind of like like Harvey Firestein, like "Hello, Luna."
Oh my God! The hairspray of it all. The hairspray of it all.
The session was like super fun. Viv was like, "You were so fun to work with on that session," and they had apparently been having trouble casting this role. And so she was like, "Let me see what he has. Maybe he has a take on it that'll be really good." And then she loved it, and they sent it to everyone else at A24, and they were like, "This guy's great." And so that's kind of how I got the job. And honestly, if someone had told me that it was going to take me 10 years to book a job in animation voiceover, I would have quit a long time ago. We just got to keep doing it. I mean, I am a Gemini, that's my astrological sign. And I know Geminis get bad reputations sometimes. I use my powers for good, but I could
very easily use them for evil.
And the world should be happy that I'm not. 'Cause I feel like I could be an absolute terror.
Don't worry. Just know at a moment's notice. At a moment's notice. You know, every time I bring this out, it seems to be a lot of concern. Yeah, it's yeah. Don't worry. It can't hurt you too much. It's just a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dios mío. That's been really dope too. That they're really opening the door for Broadway performers and theater actors to kind of break into this part of the industry that I feel like is so just like localized in LA. And Viv is like such a huge Broadway fan. Like she just loves theater so much. It's so special, and it's so cool to see someone who's in this position of power who really respects the work that theater people do and isn't trying to look down on it or feel like, well, theater actors are theater actors and film actors are film actors. Like, no, I think we're all very, it's very similar storytelling. It just depends on the size of your audience or like how big the performance should be.
Where's your Grammy pursuit? You know, we got to get you. I
have student loans to pay off. So, you know, as a Latino theater performer, I was like, I can't, like, am I only going to do Westside Story? Because there's no other musicals? Like, is it just In the Heights? Like, because apparently that's it. And I was doing this interview. This journalist asked me a question. Like, what are one of your dream roles? And I was like, well, I'd really love to play George in Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like a Latin version of Sunday in the Park with George. I was like, what do you think it's going to be? Like Sunday in the Parque con Jorge? Like,
so Hazbin Hotel, not only people are like, oh my God, it's so groundbreaking because it's this indie show that got something like, this is a Latina animated showrunner. I was like, do you know what this means for Latinas in terms of entering the space and also for being showrunners for a show? Like there's something much there's like bigger at play there, and also obviously the cast you have, it's actually pretty diverse. You know, I know there's there's
super.
Which is great and so fabulous. But it like that is so important, and I think that that's incredible, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about in terms of that ripple effect, and I'm very excited. But I am very surprised you're developing quite the fan base in terms of people who it's like they're like, I'm not supposed to love him.
There's a lot of freaks out there. There's a lot of fucking freaks.
I mean, when you have, hello. Yeah, I mean,
a lot of fucking freaks out there who love Valentino. And honestly, I love him too.
I wonder why so many people sign up for this studio, and you're like, okay, now I see it. Okay, I told see it.
Fun. Desire is complicated, okay? And if people are into moth pimp daddy, like that's on you.
Yeah.
As long as it's consensual.
Yeah,
you
I was like, this
know?
safe space. Yeah. We don't moth demon kink shame here.
Yeah.
We totally don't. No.
No,
This safe space.
we
safe
do
space.
not shame
We don't shame.
space for fucked up desire. I do have a delicious tres leches cake in my fridge because today's Adrian's birthday, and we're gonna have it later.
Oh, happy
Good
birthday!
AF.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
From Tres Leches, from Tres Leches Cafe in New York City. So good.
Oh my god. And I've started to describe food like that in a very specific way. I call that a very slutty cake. Because it makes me want to really, it's like a really, that's a really,
It's sopping. It is sopping.
I was like, that is one slutty slice that I want. Thank you very much.
Yeah. The Tres Leches in my fridge right now is a fucking whore.
What does Valentino smoke smell like?
That's a good question. I feel like it's probably like a little floral. When I studied abroad in London for a semester in college, and I lived in this area near a street called Edgware Road that had a lot of like Middle Eastern businesses and restaurants, and I would smoke hookah a lot. And one of my favorite hookah was like a rose hookah.
Ooh.
So I and it's red, or the Val smoke is red, so I feel like it smells kind of like roses.
Ooh.
Very but also like smoke, like nicotine, like a rose hookah.
Yeah. How has your family reacted to this role? Because would you consider this is the one that
Oh my God.
most people like, the most well-known role yet?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it has such a global reach. I love doing theater and I love working in New York City, but that ends up being, unless you like live in New York, unless you're here seeing the show, it doesn't get that much of a big reach, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, my parents are it's very bittersweet because my parents are very conservative Christians. I grew up Pentecostal, which is a very fundamentalist form of Christianity. Now I'm very not Christian and very atheist. So it's just funny to now be like, Mira, mami, papi, look, I'm in a cartoon finally. Ay, qué bueno. That's so great. ¿De qué se trata? Like, what is it about? And I'm like, well, I play a demon in hell. Make sure you tell that to the church on Sunday. Make sure you announce that from the pulpit. My son is a demon now. Share the love for Hazbin. I mean, it's...
It was such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for being
here.
my first
Your first one. Good job.
first guest. Thank you.
Really good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.